Ya está grabando. Good evening, my name is Sebastian Cabrera Tovar, ID 152034, and I'm going to show you my project for practices in the profession. The name of the project is EOTerm, Cold Chain Monitoring. The objective of this presentation is to show you what I have learned throughout my experiences while working with the company Clúster Puebla TIC, and all of the research work that I have done thoroughly. Alright, so my structure would be like this: project description, objectives, goals, and hypotheses, project justification, feasibility of the product, technical specifications, applicable regulations, proposed methodology for the development of the project development, results achieved, conclusion, and references. Now, project description. Well, as you may know, all the products that need to be storage in a place where it has to be there has to be cold. It's called this is called the cold chain. The cold chain. The cold chain is dedicated to figure out a way to transport food and goods like medicine to other places without it being rotten or getting bad. Something, I don't know, like beer. Sometimes beer gets burned. It's in Spanish, se quema una chela. The beer, when it gets burned, then they cannot sell it to the provider like supermarkets or anything like that, and people won't buy it. So, in Mexico, 19% of the transport industry is dedicated to the cold chain. So 19% of the cars are only for the cold chain and transport of any product that needs to be cold. EOTerm pretends to achieve a better monitoring, since 20% of the global food and medicine that is transported via the cold chain, it gets rotten or it gets bad. So with better monitoring, we could get a better understanding of what is happening and to rotten all of these products. Okay, so objectives and goals. Here I put the objectives and goals for the company. And for me, I have one, of course. Well, the hypothesis is it is possible to develop a platform based on Internet of Things for the monitoring of commercial refrigeration equipment that is part of the cold chain, achieving a level of monitoring close to the real time with data capture and analysis for multiple relevant variables. Also achieving the performance or remote control of said equipment and complying with applicable regulations. This is the main hypothesis for the company and for all the for the product specifically. This device's main objective is also to improve efficiency of current monitoring systems in the cold chain. And some other objectives that the company has to do is develop digital devices for equipment monitoring and commercial management systems. This means they will have a platform that they will be able to use in any device, including iPads, iPhones, anything that has a computer and can be transmitted to the internet. They also want to do a software platform, so like apps or a program for a computer, and then facilitate the recreation of experiments. This is something that has to be done so the company won't fail once they really launch their product, and then they have to recreate stuff in a controlled environment. As a personal objective, I wanted to learn as much as possible about the Internet of Things and about the device and how it was created. But finally, and not least, it would be to know how to create a business on my own, which is why I signed for this company. Well, for prior to specification, Internet of Things. If you're an engineer, you've probably heard of Internet of Things. This is the idea that any device that has a brain or is functional and can connect to the or something like a refrigerator, anything that is powered via electricity, maybe can be connected to the internet. If anything and everything is connected to the internet, this would create many options for us, and it would make our life easier. So this is what the project wants to do. Specifically, they want to do it in refrigerators and industrial ones, as is. Right now, there's refrigerators like this that connect to the internet, and they can tell you many things about the refrigerator, like temperature, the products that are inside and stuff. But what they want to do is implement it in industrial refrigerators, creating a way for people to monitor and reduce losses. Prototype made of commercial products. For starters, the prototype had to be with commercial products, and then they made a beta. It can read and monitor information in real time. It creates a possibility of a more controlled environment. And also, its benchmarking consists of an analysis that takes specific indicators to compare them and be able to form a ranking of the best products. Okay? Analysis of the monitoring related to the technologies. They also have made an analysis of every technology that is something like this, and it was close to being whatever it is, so they can patent it, and then they are not stealing someone else's idea. Right now, this is the device in question. You can see it's made with a microchip, PIC, microcontroller. That's its brain, and pretty much all of the other components I couldn't know because they are protected by the company, since it's not patented right now. Well, as I said, I cannot disclose any sensitive information either, but I can tell you this: it has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. It's made with a microcontroller. It has an actuator that it's able to change temperature in the refrigerator, not only by switching electronically the temperature, but also by pressing some components that might be having troubles. So, like fixing itself. And it can be controlled by a phone. It can be controlled by a phone or a computer, which the operator can be noticing at the whole process. Applicable regulations. The main goal of the regulations in Mexico and every other country that has some sort of regulations for the whole chain, it has to be uninterrupted, or if it's interrupted, it has to be minimal. Like in the case you're pulling ice cream from a truck, you have to pull it fast so it doesn't melt, and then it just runs or does something very bad. These regulations vary between countries, and well, for example, bacteria rapidly forms in a yogurt about above 27 degrees. So if the monitoring is not telling you how much the yogurt it's currently at its state, and it's over 27 degrees, it may run it, and then the whole product will be useless. So we would lose a lot of money as a company. Typically, the cold chain works like this: manufacturer, transport, repackager, transport, wholesaler, transport, and then it goes to the place where they sell it. A hospital, pharmacy, home delivery, supermarket. But in the transport parts, this is where the cold chain comes in, right? Okay, so proposed methodology for the development of the project. The device had to be designed in PCB. Then a software had to be able to control this design. And then they had to do testing in a controlled environment inside a laboratory, because otherwise you wouldn't know if the device is actually working. Then after all the testing, they had to do a beta prototype that they could sell partly to the companies. And then the business modeling. Here is a business modeling that is called Canvas. The Canvas tries to organize the ideas from the business, so it is able to create a more successful business. As I did, product development. For my part, I actually had to do convocatorias, which is a word that there's no word for it in English, I think. I had to do convocatorias for the government, since this company was in desperate they needed funding, so they just put it on the CONACYT. And I had to do convocatorias and also help them research the Internet things that I could help with were like explaining to the government in simple words, like watering down the more complicated words and putting them in a paper that I wrote about 20 pages long. I also helped them develop the business ideas using the Canvas methodology. And I helped my higher-ups decipher some stuff that they were thinking about also. Like they needed to understand the design of electric what's the name of it? Estacionamiento? Parking lot. Yeah, they wanted to do an electric parking lot, and they told me, "Hey, can you help me with this?" And but that's pretty much it. Results achieved. Right now, the company is doing some successful testing on the laboratories. I received a lot of knowledge about IoT devices and some of security, and I also received a lot of things to think about business that is not even my career, but I have to know it if I want to be successful. And in conclusion, I was able to contribute to this project by submitting convocatorias, since it was a desperate need of funding, since the company was in desperate need of funding. My help was sought after, since my engineering knowledge could help the redaction of different technical topics that had to be discussed. I learned how to do my own project and to follow certain methodologies that are very useful for the perfect conception of it. If this device is finally open to the market, its environmental impact will be tremendous, since it would greatly reduce losses in food and medicine. This will to mean that food could become a little cheaper for the public, and it is great news for the people that are in need. Finally, its health considerations are proven to be very specific, since every product that is stored safely is for human consumption. Not only my engineering expertise increased dramatically, but my business knowledge was tremendously affected, since I was able to attend many meetings with many businessmen and helping them create business models for that product. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sebastian. Are missing in your presentation the normative regulations about you talk about regulation that the regulation don't like the regulations, norms, standards, etc. Okay? It's important that you do a research about what are the applicable regulations in your project.
Okay.
It's very interesting the food chain that you are working in the company. But for example, in any presentation, I listen about the description of the company.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. I can describe it through. I know if you want to. The company is Clúster Puebla TIC. This company is a cluster. It's a cluster of companies that work together to get a better future. You know, like let's say a company. I don't know. My company is Sebastian.com. I don't know. And I create a product, and I go to the cluster, and I unify with them, and they have a series of persons that can help you create a website, or they can help you create a circuit or anything. Something that is technologically possible, they will create it. Also, they tend to do a lot of convocatorias.
Codes.
Huh?
Codes.
Codes?
Codes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I couldn't find the word. Well, they tend to do a lot of those for project funding and anything that the company is trying to do at the moment. Right now there are like 7 companies that are involved in the cluster. Yeah.
Okay. Another question? Thank you very much.
Thank you.